As I look at it across the board, again, I think of your dad, and I think of Bobby Bowden, and I think of uh, Saban now, and all these coaches that long tenured, and in many cases long tenured at one particular spot. And I just wonder if we're about to lose that. It doesn't seem like this is set up for coaches to be at one spot for very long, or even be in the game for very long. As a fan, I hate it. But as Nick himself would say, it is what it is, right? Adapt or die. So I'm just curious your thoughts on that, on kind of the new nature of a lack of continuity, which is always a setback for a program whenever you make a coaching change. But just the difference in nature of the lack of continuity in college football.
Yeah, it's completely different. I think you're going to see more coaches in one place for less time, whether it's because they go to the NFL or they just want to get out of it and do something else. And a lot of that is because of some of the issues that, I'm not trying to get on the soapbox talking about how bad we have it, because there's a lot of really great things going on. Don't get me wrong, but the structure, the calendar, the things like that, it certainly wears on people. And I think that's why you've seen guys like Coach Saban get out of it. Why you see Mike Krzyzewski retire, and Roy Williams and Jay Wright, the basketball coach at Villanova. I mean, a lot of guys that you could argue were still somewhat in their prime that got out of it. But then I think also it's a different time. My wife and I were talking this morning, honestly, and I've said this story before, but my dad at Virginia Tech, year one, he won 2 games. Year 2, he won 3 games. Year 3 and 4, he won 6 games and then 6 games. Year 5, he won 5 games. Year 6, he won 2 games. And they hung with him to the 7th year. So he had 4 of his first 6 years were losing seasons. And then they hung with him because the AD believed that he was making progress and doing the right things and was on track. And then the next thing you know, 93, his 7th year, they go to the Independence Bowl, win 9 games, and then the rest is history, and he goes down as a college football Hall of Famer. But that would never happen in today's time. And he wouldn't have made it to his 3rd season, start going 2-9 and 3-8 probably. But it does take time, and I just think it's so much of in some ways it takes time. It's different now with the portal and things like that. But certainly patience is thinner. You're expected to win now, and you combine that with some of the issues in college athletics. I think the days of coaches being at one school for a long time, not that it's not going to happen. I mean, I've said it before and I mean it. I'd love to be here for a long, long time, as long as they'll have me. But I think it's just in a lot of ways, you see a lot of coaches that either want to get out and move on or stay ahead of the posse or whatever it might be.